Every producer should know how to make a Reese bass, and if you guys don't know what a Reese bass sounds like, it basically sounds like this. And I'm going to be showing you how to make it in this video. So yeah, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Reese bass. I'm going to be showing you how to make it in Serum, Harmar for the FL Studio users, and then Wavetable for the Ableton users. It's actually really easy to make, but every time I use one in a beat on the channel, I end up getting questions about it if I don't show the settings and all that. So I'm just going to show you guys how to make it, you guys can, not have to ask me this question anymore because I'm kind of tired of it. All right, so I'm just going to start with Serum, and basically we're going to do an init patch, and I'm going to be making it from scratch so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm just going to keep it on the saw wave, but you can use pretty much any basic wave shape, which you can find in analog, and then you go into basic shapes. So you could use any of these if you really wanted to, but I honestly think the saw wave actually sounds the best of them all. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add a unison, and that basically creates a copy of the waveform, and it slightly detunes it and puts it out of time, ever so slightly. So you can add however much unison as you want, but just understand that the more unison you add, the more processing it requires. So if you have it at 16 and you have a shitty computer, it's going to not sound very good, or it's going to be crackly at the very least. So yeah, that's what it sounds like. I'm going to lower it a couple octaves because it's really high. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to want to add a low pass filter, and I usually just keep it on this one. I do like to increase the drive. And then the next thing I really like to do is I like to add mono, just so only one note can play at a time. And then I also legato and add portamento, so it glides between all the notes. And then basically from here you can, do whatever you want. You can add distortion or noise, that's another thing, but you want to make sure it goes through the filter. I mean, I guess you could add a sub, but there's already a lot of sub frequencies. That's basically the premise of it. If you want to detune it more, or detune it less, you can do that. And yeah, it just really depends on how you guys want the sound, but it's relatively easy to make, and yeah, you can experiment a lot with it. I also threw a camel crusher on there just so you guys could hear it a little bit better over your speakers. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do Harmar, and this one's going to sound a little bit different just because it is an additive synthesis, which basically means that all the sounds are made out of sine waves essentially. So if you have it in the middle, it's going to be a mixture of the saw and square. So just make sure that it's all the way over. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add a unison over here, and you're going to want to, I guess you can detune it or tune it less depending on how you want it. And another thing you want to do is you're going to want to low pass this. I usually keep it on the classic low pass. Lower this. There we go. Sweet. And then what you can do is you can also go into advanced settings and change it to high precision. And then you'll also want to go to distortion and add that. I also like to add a filter because it kind of can get a little noisy. And you're just going to have to experiment and see which one sounds the best, in my opinion. Jeez. I think I'll just keep it on classic. And then you'll also want to have it as monophonic. That's pretty much how you do it in Harmar. I think you can also add portamento over here. I don't really know exactly how to do it. I don't really use this frequently. There we go. Just use the time right here. That's pretty much how you make it in Harmar. Relatively easy. I like to export these out, and then that way I can just throw it in a sampler. And then the last way you're going to want to do it is with Wavetable. And basically what you'll want to do is you'll want to change it from poly to mono. And then you'll basically want to go to unison, and you can choose how you want to change the voicing. If you want to know all the specifics, I guess you could check the manual because I don't really know the difference. I also like to increase the sustain so it stays the same the entire time, and then you'll want to put it on the saw wave setting right here. Sweet. And then from here you'll just want to low pass it like usual, and then I think you can also add drive if you want. Or maybe I'll just throw on that camel crusher. Lower the release as well. So yeah, that's pretty much how you do it in 3 different synthesizers. Obviously, each of them sound a little bit different, and that's kind of the great thing about it, is that if you want a different sound, you can pretty much apply the same principles to a different synthesizer and you'll get a little bit of a different sound. But like I said, I like to export them out so I don't have to do that every time, and then that way you can just throw it in a sampler. I actually have a ton in my Omega 808 kit if you guys are interested in that, which I'll have in the link in the description. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.